Shout out to LeBron James. He deserved them white women next to him. Like, I feel like that shouldn't even have been any kind of problem.
Quick, while we're on Janae Aiko, I saw somebody.
No, we're not. We're on Karuchi.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's racist. That is racist. That's racist, yo. Bro, just like, when you just find out Shorty was just the biggest smut in the world, and you just like, what? I thought you was my queen, but you for the team. The worst feeling ever. So I'm here to give Draya grace under one condition. We understand an undeniable truth about the women of her ilk and those who try to follow her fashion. Those women are children.
This podcast is sponsored by Graffiti Tax Services. For all your tax preparation needs, you can go to graffititax.com. We're going to put the link right here. It should be somewhere. And yeah, you can head to them for during tax season. And if you have any financial or tax preparation questions, head to Graffiti Tax Services. They're our new sponsor. Thank you to Graffiti Tax Preparation Services. That's it.
Get some real game about yourself. You're now listening to Talk FNF TV with your host, Rhetoric, and my amazing and a lovely and gorgeous co-host, Miss Reality. And we back here and back at it. It's been a lot of things been going on. A lot of disappointing things. But we'll get that in just a moment. We will. Because I'm just going to tell you, man. Like I said, we just moved into a new area, new environment. It's just a lot of stuff I'm just not accustomed to. Okay, I come from a long line of handymen. We fix things on our own. We don't call nobody up. So I come in today from, being out, and I see that there's a floor being retiled. A little shocked at first, but I'm still a little tentative, trying to see what's going on. I see up and the gentleman is there, and look over, and I scan over his work. My dad did tile back in the day, so I'm able to navigate.
Your dad did everything.
Able to see the ones and twos over, and then I get a little correction over there to him. And he said, "Oh, if you know this much about it, why aren't you doing it?" I said, "Well, look here, sir. Okay, I didn't know you were coming, and I was out there cutting wood with my father. Real man shit. Okay, so don't over here come at me.
Not a lumberjack
about what I got to get going on when there's trees to be cut, real giant oaks to be taken down, sir. Okay, that's what I was on." But I just didn't like that. I'm just trying to adjust and get used to this environment, but it's okay.
I come from a long line of not handymen, so we call people up when work needs to be done. Hello. Or in today's case, we drove up to Home Depot and was like, "Hey, somebody."
I am the son of a handyman. Okay. Could have had that thing done in a few hours myself. Okay. But
you were being a lumberjack, so
I had to cut trees.
I had to outsource.
What's that dude who be cutting trees on Instagram and TikTok? He be having like the little jacked up shirts and stuff. He be looking like a real lumberjack. Real
that white man that be
real Paul Bunyan like.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
I don't think his name is important. Just the women like to post him when they want to show like, "Oh, look at a man being a man."
Because if you're posting a white man as an example of a man being a man as a black woman, then you need to rethink your brain chemistry. Like, what are you doing? Post a black man.
I'm sure there's black men cutting wood.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Post a period.
All right, man. Let's get into this, man. It's funny when things that we talk about kind of come into fruition in a way. Mm-hmm. Because one of our earlier episodes was strictly about you young niggas messing with these old broads. And come to find out, man, a pregnancy has been announced.
Yeah, during Women's History Month, too.
Women's History Month on International Women's Day, we got the announcement. And honestly, it's fitting, I feel like, because all of this is scandalous behavior.
It is.
And I want to give you your opportunity to save face before I can give my take. Because my take really depends on whatever you say.
Draya, you obviously are calculated in your movements.
A woman of time.
You are impregnated by a man who is the same age as your son.
Actually younger.
Younger than your son is crazy. How does he feel about this? And
then like, Jalen, how do you this nigga is your age. So why didn't you ask him like, so she left you for how long by yourself? Like that was what she was on?
to go frolic around with Chris Brown, apparently.
That is insane. So, like, that's already red flag number one.
Left
Continue
your baby
on.
for Chris Brown.
I'm like I said, I'm gonna wait till you finish, make your point.
I feel like if it was a man her age and a woman his age, then people would be like up in arms about it. Everyone would be way more upset about it than they actually are. I feel like people are slightly disgusted, but nobody's like that mad. I think it's kind of weird. Like having a child with somebody who is younger than your child, you don't have anything in common with this man other than like he has money and you want some. That's my take on it.
I'm glad that you had that. So now I can actually do my point on this because you were being real, and I appreciate that. Salute. So we got to look at this because everybody starts been bringing what you just said into question with Drake. So apparently Drake has been allegedly dating or seeing Lotto's 21-year-old sister or cousin, one of the two. And so people were trying to compare it being the same. I'm going to hate to break it to y'all. For a lot of reasons, these two situations aren't the same. So I'm here to give Draya grace under one condition. We understand an undeniable truth about the women of her ilk and those who try to follow her fashion. Those women are children. Straight up. If you don't have a problem with this, to a degree, you believe women are children as well.
Explain why you think women of her
Because
ilk are children.
As children,
this man generally thinks women are children, but specifically why you think Dre is tight.
One, she doesn't want to be accountable for her actions in a real way. A la, like many children. She wants to be taken care of like a dependent. A la, like many children. She does not want to have any real bearing in this. She just wants to take care of a baby doll. A la, like a child.
Okay.
Like, these are all the things that come into place. And if, to me, I don't have a problem with that view and that kind of sweeping generalization of it if it's applied everywhere. But when you start saying, oh, Draya is rich, she can do what she wants. She sells swimsuits. Okay, she got swimsuits and she get money from child support. Okay, she's not a baller.
Draya's not rich.
She's not, like, she has a revenue for her swimsuits, but it's not real revenue. Like, it's right now it's flating. It can go up or down. She, in a real way, is not in control of her own destiny. The men that's have to support her are. She's
been popular for a very long time. She's been attractive for a very long time, but I wouldn't say that she's rich per se. Like,
no, like I said, the swimsuits did good back in the day when she was selling those swimsuits. I'm pretty sure
when she had the whole fine ass girls line and it was like taking over, then yeah, she was probably making a good amount of money. But then that kind of fell off.
Yeah,
like,
her whole appeal has faded. Like, you don't even see her making the same kind of moves like she should. She's still doing, of course, the easy Fashion Nova brand deals, all that kind of stuff. But
I think she tried to clean up her brand so that she could get.
But she did that before the last player, Orlando Scandrick, the one who had her second kid. Because she knows she got two sons. Orlando Scandrick was a cornerback for the Dallas Cowboys, and I think he played for somewhere else. I can't remember. But he was not. Huh?
What if one of those kids that she has becomes like a NBA or NFL
the first
player
one's
himself?
The first one is her being 17, young and stupid. Like, that's her first kid.
Okay.
Like, that nigga ain't
But
promising
I'm talking about, so she has an NFL baby and an NBA baby?
Now.
Ooh.
She got NFL son, but she got a daughter for the, WNBA. We already talked about that. They ain't pulling in no bread.
Okay. I thought she was having a son.
No, she announced that she's having a daughter. That was why she kind of did the whole International Women's Day and all that jazz. But like I said, if we're going to view it like that and say that, hey, Draya is a child, then cool. But let's be honest, nobody here is making that determination about her.
No.
And that's why it's wrong, because another thing about this is when you have somebody like Drake and Lotto's cousin, when you look at the grand scope of things, what a woman, regardless of her age, is going to want from a man, Drake can provide.
Yeah.
And what a man his age is going to want from a woman, a la her youth, she can provide. That's not the same with Jalen and Draya. She is clearly, like you said, extorting him. This is an extortion move.
But, okay, let's explore what Jalen is getting from this, because I think Jalen...
A 60-year-old baby mama in 20 years. That's exactly what he's getting. You're 40 years old with a 60-year-old baby mama.
Stressing you out.
That's sick. Your baby mama gonna be in a walker in your second peak.
I genuinely feel like Jalen had literal, like, posters up, like, not posters up, but like his background, his wallpaper was probably Draya for mad long.
I'll do you one better. His girlfriend in high school was friends with Draya. Yeah. Her friend, the ex even confirmed this. She said that, yeah, you was looking at my man when we was in high school. You was baiting on him that early. Keeping it a bean, yo. She is a predator.
Why was she friends with a high schooler?
You know, family
Like
friends
a high
type
school.
thing.
Oh, okay.
Could have been like a family friend type situation. But regardless, that's not even part of it. It's the fact that you was scheming on this boy when you seen him as a top prospect in high school. Because he was definitely, he had a YouTube show.
Oh, damn. So she knew him when she was, like, she
yes,
knew of him.
She knew him when he was a child. She seen him maturate into a man. She was probably not a phone call away on his draft night. And she's out here she's extorting him.
How long has he been in the league?
He's still on his rookie deal.
Ooh.
Like, he's only been in the league like 2-3 years maybe. He's on his rookie deal. He hasn't even signed his big money yet.
She got him immediately.
She got him before, like, anything. Really? That's why he probably think he love her. You said he getting tattoos of her?
Oh,
Jalen,
yeah,
what the fuck, man?
It is in like a bottom corner. You can't really see it, but he got her name tatted. It says Draya. Like,
please name the daughter. Please name the daughter that, because that's gonna be the dumbest thing in the world if you got that girl, that 40-year-old woman on you. That's stupid. That's dumb. Like, nothing about this is, and the messed up part about this is these niggas ain't got no OGs. Like, it's so evident clear. And I wanted to get in here.
Where are your fathers?
Debatable. These niggas might be okay in this. They might not be good OGs too. But in the same token, people were saying Gilbert Arenas, who spoke out, him and Nick Young told an old story about Draya giving them some top in the back of a car one time. And everybody was like, oh, you supposed to be like Devin Booker, Patrick Beverly. Oh, you supposed to be OGs. Y'all ain't supposed to be doing that to the young boy. And I'm sitting here thinking like, damn, I would want to say the same sentiment, but these young boys don't listen to nothing but disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I could even see when he first saw that they was together, I'm pretty sure he tried to get in touch with this nigga. Like, hey, bro, like, that ain't what, can I get in touch with this? Hey, we need to know what's going on. Like, because this ain't what you want, dog. This is 2010 work.
Draya publicly said that your honus could be deleted.
Trifling behavior.
Nobody had to reach out to Jalen to let him know that she had a very extensive history.
No, sometimes you get pusmatized. So I can understand where his head may not be in the right place, but you got to have an OG come to you and you got to be receptive.
As your wife, I don't know the answer. I don't want to know the answer to this question, but have you ever been pussymatized by a hoe?
By a hoe? No.
Like someone whose honus should have been deleted, but you was like.
I was more pussymatized by somebody who I didn't really like as a person. Where it was like, that's all I really just wanted to do was with them was that, and then nothing else. So I would put up with a lot just to be having to get to that portion of it.
Okay. I don't know if that's pussymatized or if that makes you a sociopath.
Okay, one or the other. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll allow it.
Continue.
But man, this is just so disappointing because this guy has a promising future, and now you wrapped it up in this woman who we don't know has your intentions, because she could be somebody in the background like we talked about before who could be helping you navigate. But these women ain't like that. They want to be in front. They want to be the star. She put the whole little caption and everything. She didn't even tag the nigga in it. Kyle Kuzma had to. He had to bust everyone's bubble with it. So it's like, it's just so disingenuous from her.
Nobody knew who her baby daddy was?
They
okay.
knew. Remember, it was the stories was coming out. Everybody was saying that like she had a pregnant bum. She was seeing out with them. Even when we talked about it, we even said the whole joke about him being her being his beard. And now you didn't put a bun in the beard. What kind of mess is that? We were talking about
this though. I think that if she is his beard, then it's not that crazy that you put the bun in the beard.
That is nuts.
I don't think that's crazy, because if you have a mutual agreement with a woman, like, we're going to act like we're together, but I'm going to do my thing with the menses and the penises. I obviously can't have children with men. I can only have children with women. Let's just have a child together if both parties want a child. Draya probably doesn't want another child. She left her child alone. She doesn't want another child, but she's like, yeah, security, probably.
Yo, she really got security this is better than Social Security. Like,
it is. It's way better than Social Security.
Like, she's
so much better.
And she might still collect Social Security after this. Like, she's going to be 60 after the kid turns 20, and then So to me, that's also irresponsible. 40 years old. Come on.
Is Draya 40?
Granted, my parents had me at 40, but still slightly irresponsible.
Is Draya 40?
She's 39.
Okay, well, close enough.
Yeah, it's right there. She's knocking on death's door. I mean, 40's door. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say death. I just meant, you know, the phrase where it's like,
nah,
knocking
all the 40-year-olds go at him right now. All the 39-year-olds come at him right now. He said, y'all about to die. That's crazy.
Man. But this is just indicative of what's going on in this society, man, where in regards to these celebrities not having the money that they claim to have. Karrueche out here selling feet pic, talking about she going to donate the money. You're a liar.
She deleted the tweet. So
yeah, you're a liar, but you didn't delete that OnlyFans. Just going to tell you. And then all you got to do is hit her in the inbox. But, hey, man, it's $200 for some real stuff. You know what's coming.
She says she don't need money, but, like, why would you just start selling feet pics?
And it's the stupidest thing because it was definitely girl math. Oh, I don't need money, but this is the fastest growing industry. So you need money.
Yeah, like there's inflation. All of us are struggling.
And then she tried to say it wasn't sexual. Like, come on. You know guys are spanking to feet.
It's a fetish. It's inherently sexual. It's not sexual, like, for you because you're just taking pictures of your feet, but you know what's happening with them. It's sexual. It's a sexual enterprise. Another
childlike behavior. Redefining things that are clearly defined. That is what children do. Like
really quick, while we're on Janae Aiko, I saw somebody.
No, we're not. We're on Karrueche.
Oh shit!
Oh, that's racist. That is racist. That's racist, yo. Because they're Blasian.
That's the same bitch.
That's sick. Karrueche doesn't have any talent though.
She cute.
She's like Draya. She have no talent. That's why I brought her up. But continue.
Yeah. No, I don't have to bring it up.
You sure?
Yeah.
You don't want to kick a Blasian's back in?
No, I don't have to.
All right, respect. All right, let's see.
Speaking of Janae Aiko, we were not talking about her at all.
At all. All right, let's get into some of these awards because it has been award season. We caught the Oscars.
We did.
I'm not mad at it. Was actually better than I was expecting it to be. Granted, I did fall asleep in the middle of it, but that's because we started watching it late. You know what I'm saying?
It did start late, though. It started at like 9.
Doesn't it usually start earlier?
I don't know.
I always thought it started earlier just so they can get...
The carpet starts earlier. But the show, I don't know. I've never tried to watch the Oscars before. It's just whitey fest.
Shout out to American Fiction.
Yes.
We reviewed that movie, so definitely check out our review. But they won, what was it, Best Screenplay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Best Adapted Screenplay.
Was there anyone who really stuck out to you? My man won Best Actor, buddy from Oppenheimer. He won Best Actor.
And that was his first Oscar.
Yeah. And Robert Downey Jr. Shout out to Robert Downey Jr.
That's what I was going to say.
His first Oscar as well. Shout out to Iron Man in this thing. That's what's up. Did
any black people win things other than American Fiction?
I think there was some more. You could check it out. But I do want to say this about Robert Downey Jr. A lot of folks were surprised that this was his first Oscar. Do y'all realize he spent 13 years on drugs? Like all of the 90s? Like, do y'all realize that? He was like, part of the 80s and 90s was definitely him on a coke bender.
Okay, so Davine Joy Randolph won Best Supporting Actress, so shout out to her. And then that's the only other black person I see that won things.
Oh, well, we won't be
so
staying
far.
on this long then. We won't be here long. But but no, I just feel like a lot of people just didn't realize his history because it was like, when could he have won one? It wasn't going to be for the judge and the judge's son.
No.
That shit was ass. And Doolittle.
Come on now. That's
fucking
just
trash.
A joke. That's a joke.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Doolittle was down the all of that shit. I'm trying to think what else he was in.
Other than Iron Man.
Yeah, and Iron Man, you wasn't going to win nothing for Iron Man.
No, because Marvel doesn't get nominated for Oscars.
But no, I'm glad. I'm happy to see that because he is a long person who's been in the industry for a long time. So it's dope to see that. Let's see. Was there anyone? Ken? Did you see my boy Ken perform?
Yeah, his whole like musical number. I was like, okay.
Your boy, your girl, Keating 6. She showed her blind spot. She tried to say it was impressive how he was able to perform like that when that isn't his craft. But she soon found out that the fans of what's his name again? Who played Ken?
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. The fans of Ryan Gosling told her, yes, he has a band. He was classically trained and all this other shit.
Yeah, wasn't
he a Disney kid?
In La La Land?
Yeah.
Or was that Justin Timberlake? Or
I
what
don't-
white man was in that movie?
Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. But no, I think that he was a Disney kid though. He was part of that group of
Oh, I
up
didn't
and
know
comer
that.
folks. I want to say that. I could be
If
wrong.
he was a Disney kid, he was a Disney kid before we were children.
Yeah,
so
he was part of like
didn't-
the Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears Disney kid.
Oh, okay. That would make sense.
Ryan Gosling. You said La La Land?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure he was in La La Land?
I'm not sure at all. Not one bit.
And you were right.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Yes. That was like a jazzy singing movie.
And he had the other girl who won Best Actress.
Emma Stone?
Emma Stone was in that movie as well.
She was, and she won Best Actress for Poor Things,
Mhm.
which I tried to watch 3 times, and I still haven't finished it.
Not because it's bad though, right? Just
No,
it's a lot to take in.
it's just not my type of movie specifically because there's not any black people in it at all. So that's usually what gets me. And then the concept was really interesting to me. And then there was this one scene in the trailer that got me to watch it the second time. She was like, he just fast licked my clitoris. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch this again. I'm gonna give it another try because she obviously gets more personality. I'm gonna give it another try. I'm gonna finish it.
I walked in on one scene. This is I guess a spoiler alert here for the movie. Poor Things?
Mm-hmm.
Poor Thing.
It's on Hulu.
Yeah, I walked in and the girl had found the clitoris and she was out there rubbing that shit like an eraser.
She was.
That shit was insane.
So it's about a mad scientist that puts like a 3-month-old's brain in.
It's like Girl Frankenstein.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting. I'll finish it.
It's like Girl Frankenstein through a man's brain because that's exactly what a man would want.
You could tell that they were trying to say something about women's bodily autonomy. I'm gonna finish it.
Was that just what I said about women being children? Whoa, man, full circle there. That was wild, yo.
He always gonna bring it back to degrading women.
It's not degrading. It was just an observation. And literally
That
matched the
degrades
premise.
women.
That's hate. That is hate. I'm not a degrader. I'm just an observer. All right. Was there anything else we want to talk to, or we want to get into the other award that you made me watch?
So, what I wanted to say really quick about the Oscars also was the big difference between the Oscars and the other award show that we watched. So we also watched the Billboard Women in Music Awards. And in general, I think when the actors do bits but on stage before they nominate, it's so much better and it's so much more entertaining than when musicians do it, obviously, because the actors are actors. But yeah, I enjoyed that part of the Oscars more. I generally enjoy the music awards more because there's more performances.
I think what you forget is musicians really can't read. Like R. Kelly and all them, they're not really good at reading. So, like, that's why they can't do all that. That's what makes it tough.
He said these niggas can't read.
Before we leave the Oscars, shout out to, I can't remember his name. He was the Jewish guy who went up on stage and denounced his Judaism.
Yes.
In support of a ceasefire.
Mm-hmm.
So what was that gentleman's name? Jonathan Glazer. That's why why can I remember that name? Glazer. That was his name, Jonathan Glazer. So shout out to Jonathan Glazer for that. That took heart. He I would have been scared seeing The Rock right there. I thought The Rock was about to tackle his ass as soon as he said that shit.
So there were a lot of celebrities that had these little red pins on, and then after I finished watching the Oscars, I saw something that said that they were ceasefire pins. So a lot of celebrities had on the ceasefire pins. Billie Eilish and her brother, I think, or her producer, I don't know. And Mark Ruffalo was like very vocal about it too. So
yeah, they usually are. Mark Ruffalo kind of is forced to be in that because he's literally in every environmental movie.
Oh yeah, he is.
So it's like you gotta kind of be like on the side of right.
A sincere face.
Yeah, I think it's funny that he's the Hulk. That's just so funny to me.
Yeah, but he has to be sincere outside of the Hulk.
Yeah.
So it's fitting.
So was there anybody you want to touch on with the Women's Billboard Music Award? Because honestly it was very like not entertaining.
No,
like,
it was like
for like women that want to be free and live, like there was no ass shaking. Like there was like y'all look like there was a bunch of niggas in the room.
They presented the award. So whoever was getting the award performed, and then they presented it like immediately after.
That felt like slave work too.
Like
it's like dance, bitch, and then here's your award for it.
So I'm just gonna like
They was all out of breath every time they was getting the award and
Every
everything.
single time, yeah. It was
nasty.
yeah. So I'm trying to like come. So Charlie XCX was got an award. Karol G. I like when Karol G performs. I honestly I like her very much. She won Woman of the Year.
Shit.
Annalisa won Global Force. Ice Spice won Hitmaker of the Year.
Oh shit.
She had a couple bops though. Like honestly, let me see if any other black woman. Pink Pantheress won Producer of the
Is
Year.
she considered a black woman?
She's literally African.
Okay, talk about it. Wake it up. Wake it up.
Like she's just East African. She's light skinned, but she's African. So
Hey, I just said wake it up. That's all.
So I thought that was dope as hell because I love Pink Pantheress's like production style. I think like it's very.
She's unique.
She is. Thames won Breakthrough Artist of the Year, and Victoria Monet won the Rising Star Award, and it was hosted by Tracee Ellis Ross. I thought Tracee would be more entertaining as a host.
Now Tracee showed you she part white.
She really did, but I also feel like she didn't write her material because that didn't sound like Tracee. I follow her. I follow her on Instagram, and she makes me giggle way more than she did on stage. She brought up her hair a lot.
She brought up a lot of stuff that made I feel like she was just trying to make the white people in the room comfortable.
She brought up her hair a lot.
And then she was using the voice. You know that was the straight code switch voice in there that she was using.
Yeah, it was not super entertaining, but it was filled with performances that were entertaining. So.
I like her better when she has a script.
Mm-hmm.
And then Savannah James. I'm sitting there looking at, why is Savannah James here? Why is she? Does she sing? Does she got an album coming out?
No, but people who weren't in music were presenting the awards.
But what is she in? Basketball Wives?
No, she's just LeBron James's wife.
Okay,
like,
well,
she's that girl. She's a girl.
How do you get? Okay, well, let's can we just let me give a hand clap for LeBron, because you can just be that amazing that your wife cannot do anything and then you still make her a star. Shout out to LeBron James. He deserved them white women next to him. Like, I feel like that shouldn't even have been any kind of problem.
I saw that video. I started watching it. I didn't even finish watching it.
You'd been just, that hate was just searing.
It was.
But he handled that so player. Everything, they was on the arms. Happy International Women's Day. Y'all the most impactful women in sports. You know what I'm saying?
I will say that usually when LeBron is on camera with other women, like he's like, yeah.
I mean,
he
doesn't view those as women. Those are the joints.
But yeah, he usually just. Did you that one video where that girl taps in and he points to his friend immediately?
That was the joint though.
Yeah, he was like, not me.
He's like, y'all can't do nothing around me in the public. These women ain't just normal women. These women got money and prestige.
Yeah.
And they can touch on me like this. And it was play. And I didn't like what y'all was saying. Like, I saw a lot of people on the internet saying, oh, LeBron's going to be in trouble. Trouble?
Here goes the dick gobbling.
Oh, here she go right here with the disrespect. Nah, bro, we not finna be doing this, man. I hate when I hear y'all try to just dim the light of great men. And y'all do it on the regular. Like, don't worry, you're not gonna be in camera. y'all do it on the regular. Like, LeBron James don't get checked by nobody. That's hate. I don't even see how you could even figure that. So you think if LeBron James is who you with, you think you could check him on anything?
No, I probably wouldn't. But you sitting here saying it, I'm gonna make fun of you.
No, that's not it. We need to start putting some respect on the king. Because my thing is this: if somebody gonna get it, it needs to be him. If he gonna have the quiet princess, which I've always shouted out Savannah for being the quiet princess until this Billboard Music Award, I just feel like there's something going on now. I'm gonna start a narrative.
You think there's some trouble in paradise?
Well, what I've seen is you saw the little picture, which again, that could be anything.
Yeah.
But I peeped something else. It was another video. And a lot of people wouldn't have peeped this. But as a parent, I saw what was going on. So they're walking in. You could just tell the energy. When you are married to a black woman, a la myself, when they have that energy. It's just that, oh, she's trying to push you away, but in here. You know what I'm saying? So that's what she was doing. She tries to grab the daughter's hand, And LeBron grabs the daughter and takes him.
Yanks
And
his daughter
and takes her
in another direction.
to the other direction to talk to another gentleman. That is what we call a power play. That is what you're doing. You're showing her that this life that you can have, that I provide for you, can be snatched away at any point. And you will be sitting there walking down the little track walk by yourself. How special will you be then?
When I was watching it, it seemed like she was trying to take her daughter's hand, but LeBron already had her in hand, and I don't think he saw her trying to take her hand.
Power play. You don't have to make it obvious. This man has been famous for years. He talks like this to everybody. He puts his mouth up. He's trained. He knows how to do a power. He knows how to do a power move. And that's what that was. That was just showing her like it could just be taken in a second. Show some respect. You don't need to be at the Billboard Music Awards getting all giddy, staying out late. That ain't the house that we built. Savannah, she was down with LeBron for 10 years before they got married. 2 kids. We never heard a word. He moves to L.A. Now we start seeing this? I can understand that if I'm a man in his position and his status, I don't want anything to change. Because what? Once she starts doing the Billboard Music Award, next thing you know, she's going to be one to be here and one to be there and be seen with this man and see. No.
She's done interviews and magazine covers and
with
a bunch of stuff.
With the LeBron nod.
You think that.
Now, he gave a nod. He said on his story. But I could just feel like where you starting to separate a little more as the kids get older.
That was before that video came out.
No, well, yeah, before the video game when he celebrated it. Yeah, it was the same night. It was actually the same night they had played.
Okay.
That's when it was like either the day before or the night before. It was like that happened.
See
to
what
Billboard.
happens when you go do your own thing, Savannah? This nigga surrounded by white women.
Yeah, that's all it takes, and that's what he was showing you, baby girl. You can do all this fire stuff, but understand where home is. Understand where you built your bearings at.
This nigga is toxic as fuck.
How am I toxic? My thing is, I'm not that nigga, so I understand.
Because
I gotta be humble.
In reality, they probably have no problems, and he was probably.
I wanted to start a narrative.
Extremely supportive.
Yeah. So I just want to start a narrative.
Like something fun, real quick. You know, like, oh yeah, baby, go present. Like whatever.
Yeah, I just want to start a narrative. I just said that, but I just feel like as a man in his position, there's just some accommodations that you're gonna have to make. Like you're not gonna just be able to be Miss Girly and just be out and about. No, everything that you do needs to be about the LeBron James brand. Everything.
Well, yeah, if I'm a woman like Savannah James,
I mean, you don't have an option of being other. Like if she would have been out of pocket, she would have just been out. The only reason, like, you got to think that the one thing stranglehold she had on him was the fact he didn't want to be the player with the baby mama out everywhere, and he don't have her under any kind of control. He saw what happened with D-Wade. When you don't have a control of your baby mama.
They were high school sweethearts. They love each other.
Yeah, she hit the jackpot. She hit the lottery.
That's all that was. Let's not take that away also. Like
No, she hit the lottery. Like you were lucky that the greatest basketball player to ever touch this earth loved you. Act like it. That's all I'm saying. At all times. At all times. I know I'm insufferable.
She fell in love with a man who happens to be the world's greatest basketball player. That's how she sees that. She knew him before all of the shit. So that's probably
met in high school. He was dominant in high school.
So he had all of the articles and all that shit.
He was there was promise there. She knew she was betting on something high.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't know she was getting the greatest nigga ever.
It's very.
She knew she was gonna get a nigga who's 1 of 400.
It's very easy to be the quiet queen when your nigga been in the newspapers with everyone praising him as the best since before you knew him.
I'm just saying, like, you gotta understand. I had to go through Kobe drama when I was a kid.
With Kobe, the allegations?
Yeah, well, niggas admitted to it.
Oh yeah.
I had to go through that.
Dead, so I wanted to.
Yeah, R.I.P. I had to go through that. I had to fight that where my nigga who 2 years ago was the reason me and my dad got to spend ample time together because we watching the game is now Nasty Man McGee. And these kids ain't never had to have that. My son ain't never seen LeBron in no type of trouble.
LeBron is never going to be in that situation. He controls his image too well.
And that's why, all I ask is he should just be treated like he does that. That's all. In any capacity. I don't know if she does it or doesn't. But the fact that you're not smiling 100% of the time when you with me, I have a problem with.
We can assume she does that, though, because they've been together for a very long time.
Yeah. And then also, You know who else is like that? Patrick Mahomes is like that. Because there was a video where you see Brittany Mahomes talking to a friend next to her, and people were reading her lips, and she was saying essentially like, "Oh, Patrick gets mad when I have bitch face," and she made like a little face. Like, but honestly, nobody as a man, nobody wants that. Like, if I'm with you and I'm lit and I'm up, and you the girl that I chose, you need to be having a smile ear to ear. Like, we need to go home.
What if you
fake it?
But what if your bitch has resting bitch face? Well, like just my regular face, because people think I'm upset all the time. My just regular resting face, people be like, "Are you okay?" Yes.
And then what do I ask you to do?
What?
Smile. Look happy.
I am.
Then look it. Shit. That's like y'all don't understand how much of the mood that y'all set and the precedent y'all set and how people judge us. Even like how we judge ourselves when y'all are feeling. And y'all don't keep that in mind.
Listen,
y'all think it's always about control.
Even right now, when me and Frederick are around people who care about him, regardless of how I feel, I'm putting on a smile. I'm acting like I'm happy as fuck.
I appreciate that.
Regardless of if I'm not.
No, I appreciate that. All right, before we get into this next section, I want to give an RIP to Akira Toriyama. I just want to thank you for just all the memories that you created. We lost him to a brain tumor. It's been confirmed. And we lost him to a brain tumor, which has been confirmed. So it was March 1st when he passed away. So that was it did suck just to have that happen. But I just want to thank you, man. You know, we played a little clip from Dragon Ball at the beginning of the episode. And I just appreciate everything that you brought me, the friends, the time, and wanted me to be an artist, stuff with my son. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and one of the first gifts I got him was the dragon.
Yeah, the dragon with the dragon balls.
You can put it on. It's like a little collectible thing. He hasn't taken it out of the.
I did. Well, I'm not gonna take it out of the box because it's a collectible.
Yeah. So
speaking of that, I have a story about my son. Right. So this little nigga, right. He probably about 6 or 7 during this time, maybe a little bit younger. And I have 3 12-inch, I would say, maybe a little bit bigger, action figures of Dragon Ball characters like Broly, Gogeta, and I think Trunks. And he knows they're up. He knew they were up there. And I told him, you can't open that. These are collectibles. You can play with all my other Dragon Ball toys that were the 6-inch, normal toys. This nigga's so greedy. Go after the big toys anyway. And this is when I was back at school, so he was just with my mom. Opens up the toys, starts playing with it. My mom comes in, starts yelling at him about it. This nigga lie and say, I told him he could do it. I'm sitting there like, she calls me up, Fred, you know what your son did? He ruined your little. And I'm like, he said, what? I can open it.
Liar.
Yes, a fibber. Oh, my goodness. And I was sitting there. That was so crazy. I need to just send them back to him since he compromised them. Here you go. You can have them. Figure out what to do with them now.
They're worthless.
Messed up the box. I'm talking about I never touched. I had these when I was like probably a little bit older than I was probably like 12 when I got them. And he compromised them at like 19. Granted, yes, I was. Well, it probably wasn't 19. He probably did this when I was like 21, 22. If he was 6. Yeah. So you can do the math at home.
Teenage father.
Yeah, so he messed up. That was always the dope part, though. Like, even though like it's not dope, and I don't wish that on anybody, teen pregnancy. That was the dope part, was like you still being a kid, being able to enjoy your kid stuff with your kid in like a real way. Mm-hmm. But don't do it. It's not dope. That dope.
No, you
it's
don't
not that dope at all.
Do that.
All right, so let's get into a little serious topic here. So there's been a lot of death in the sex work community. Mm-hmm. A lot of stuff has there's been a lot of sad stories. There's been a lot of eerie stories. They've kind of all happened within each other. A lot of them have been few of them have been in the same state of Texas. Where like, that's where they are. So it was a few people. The biggest one so far, and the one who I think a lot of people are feeling like there's an attack going on. I think her name was Sophia Leon. And this was like just a few days ago. She was murdered in New Mexico. And they believe it was a possible home invasion. And it was like the 3rd death in the adult film industry this year. But they're all from different causes. Yeah, they're just this year. So in the 3 months we're in, it's been almost, you can say, a death a month. But it was her. There was also Zoe Parker. Her and her boyfriend died of apparent overdose in Oklahoma. And then You have, let me see, it was another girl. I think her name was like Emily Willis.
Mm-hmm.
She had overdosed and went into a coma. And that's how she just recently
It's
passed.
a lot of people overdosing.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of people are like trying to say like, oh, there's somebody attacking the community, but.
And also, Cagney Lynn Carter.
That's enough, yeah.
So she died in 2024.
What was her death from?
She is the one that took her own life in
The suicide, okay.
her home. Yeah, she was 36.
So yeah, so it was her. Those are the three then this year.
Yeah.
And that's just crazy.
Did you say Jessie Jane?
Oh no, there's more?
Yeah, so Jessie Jane, she died from a drug overdose.
And that was when?
That was also in 2024.
Oh yeah, I
So-
did say Jessie Jane. I did say Jessie
Oh,
Jane.
okay.
At first I said Zoe Parker, but I was wrong. I read the wrong name. I apologize. It was Jessie Jane who was the overdose. Her and her
Mhm.
boyfriend overdosed. So do apologize for mixing that. Zoe Parker did pass, but that was like in 2020.
Okay.
So
Yeah, so, and then, what you said, Sophia.
yeah, Cagney Lynn, who she's the one she took her own life. So I mean, it's just crazy, and a lot of people are trying to like, and it's man, those comment sections get rough.
Especially when you do something that people feel make you like less of a human
Them shits
or
was some,
less deserving of respect.
them comments is tough. Like they was just calling her all sorts of stuff. Like all of them, honestly. Even the one that's in the coma. Like she might get up. So it's like, it sucks. And it just, some people try to say it's part of the lifestyle. Cause I mean, the drug thing, what sticks out to me is that is a big thing. Like even like if you've been around, if you've been a nigga who has been around and can acquire women, you're going to see there's different women that have certain things like that where they don't even engage with you unless they getting messed up like that.
Yeah.
And it's just messed
Which
up.
I think is that's different, and we as women need to explore. If you need to be under some type of influence to engage in sex, maybe you don't want to have sex. I don't know.
But I mean, when you think to the sex work, I mean, they doing it for the money. So they're doing it for livelihood and lifestyle. So they're not thinking of it like, they're just like, bro, I just got to get through it.
Yeah.
And
In that industry, it's very normal for people to be under the influence. Like every single sex work, like porn documentary I've watched, every single person is like, yeah, I have to. There's been a point where I had to completely shut my brain off or put my brain in a different place so that I can be able to do this on a regular basis.
and so that's why I feel like that's where it comes from. Do you think that is inherently part of, like, just say if sex work was completely legal, but everybody had enough in regards to shelter, home, food, you didn't have to do sex work only to your own personal self. Do you think it would still be explored that way? Do you feel like people would still have that? Or is it just simple fact that like folks are just doing essentially what 9 to 5 workers do, is numb their brain once they finish work? They just have to do it while they're working.
That is a good take because I do need a glass of wine after work most of the times. I feel like, what was the question?
No, I'm just saying, do we feel like that's just a part of lifestyle that if you removed
I remember
the triggers of it?
So if everyone was able to live, eat, have healthcare, everything, I think there still would be sex workers because there is that small percentage of people that's just like, I love doing this. And I love just having sex. And especially now that we have OnlyFans and things of that nature where women and men can pick the partners that they're doing the scenes with. They can pick somebody that they have more sexual chemistry with, that they don't have to get like belligerently drunk to film these scenes with. I think that porn would still be a thing. I think it would be less easily accessible. I think there would be more paywalls.
Yeah, I do feel like that would be, I think it would be probably more lucrative than it is now.
Yeah.
For the performer anyway.
For the person who does. Because I think
right now it's a systemic thing. Like if you have an operation, you can make a lot of money. But if you're an actual performer, then yeah, you wouldn't.
Yeah, because I think the consumption would, the need for it is not going to change. So the people who are doing it would probably maybe have even more notoriety too, because they're, who knows what type of stigma would be around it at that point if everyone's happy and and like generally content with their life, and they don't need to judge somebody else for doing something that they don't have the balls to do and they're making more money. Like maybe there would be less of a stigma around it, and it would just be a better situation all around for sex workers.
Yeah, and I don't think folks give sex work in the industry the respect it deserves. Like we don't have a lot of the stuff that we have now if it wasn't for sex works. Like the readily available of lights and cameras and microphones and all that shit that comes from sex work.
I don't think people know how much the sex industry pushes forward technology.
The reason we have the internet
and
the way we
Silicon
do,
Valley in general,
like the stuff that Kai and Aiden Ross are doing in 2024. If you were a real porn head, you was watching that in 2010 of girls streaming, like sitting in front of camera all day type streaming.
Yeah,
way before. So I said everything we seeing now is just what the way sex works has been able to push us forward. So like I think we kind of just got to ease up on that, man. Like these folks is real people in a way. And speaking of Aiden Ross,
what do you mean in a way? They are real people.
No, I'm saying, and they are real people. Like they are going through things, and I'm saying they're real people in regards to like they're pushing forward technology. They're pushing forward industry.
100%. The porn industry is like the engine in the train of the technology industry.
All right, since Aiden Ross was on the docket right here, and we just brought him up, do you think he's telling the truth about him sleeping with Sexy Red?
I never think Aiden Ross is telling the truth.
She kind of confirmed it with her tweet, though.
I think Aiden Ross calculates every single thing. I think everything that we've ever seen that makes Aiden Ross like is embarrassing towards him, and it's like, oh, this nigga look dumb. Like he formulated every single one of those situations.
But if you think about that, then if you're saying that this is kind of what we talked about earlier, where his stilo is to have himself be embarrassed by the rappers, what's the
and I got that from you.
I know that. I'm saying, but what's that's why I peeped it. But I was saying, what would this be the embarrassment then? Him sleeping with a black girl?
No, her coming out and saying that you paid me to take your virginity.
Okay, I was just trying to see.
Like you paying somebody to take your virginity is the embarrassing part of it.
I just want to make sure.
And then her being like, I didn't even want to fuck you is also the embarrassing part of this.
Yeah, that nigga said, yeah, when that clip leaked, man, I jacked my dick and called her.
And Aiden Ross is
also to academics.
Also, Aiden Ross is trying to have us under the impression that he was a virgin up until like maybe 2 months ago when that Sexy Red video came out. When he was making millions off of streaming, it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter how corny you are. There will be at least a line around the corner of bitches that want to fuck you because you make that much money. So I don't believe you. You weren't a virgin, period. This is another one of Aiden's little schemes.
I think the virgin thing came from her because that's never really been his shtick. That's more of another dude named Neon. I know you're not familiar, but Neon is another guy where he plays that I'm a virgin incel kind of character to people. So I think that's why I just think that was just a shot that she was just trying to shoot.
No,
at him.
but I feel like he sent her a script and was
for
this
sure.
is what you're tweeting next. This is like, that's why I think he has a part in this.
Oh, for sure. I think it's what you're saying. This could be part of his plan, but that would be a crazy mixtape if they sex tape if they dropped that. The Aiden Ross Sexy Red tape.
Oh, I don't need that.
That would be crazy. That'd be like Alien. What was his baby Alien? You ever seen any of his stuff? Oh my God, he's so crazy. Like,
no, I have no idea what that is.
He's like a very small, like Arab-looking man, and he just be sleeping with girls, but he looks weird. Like he's a little dude, little arms, little everything.
I'm gonna look it up on Twitter really quickly.
All right, so let's get into.
You said his name is Baby Alien.
Yeah, something like that. All right, so Rory and Mal, they had an interesting conversation on their last episode of the podcast, and it stemmed from Danny from the Stop. And I see what you're doing, Danny. You out there being an agent of chaos, pushing these boys together. I like it. I respect it. But it was interesting because I always love when Rory and Mal have conversations that you know for a fact they've never had off camera. And like you see that look on Rory's face like, oh, this is the nigga who I'm dealing with. It's almost like when you like chilling with a girl and she told you she got like a blowjob in church and you're like, I mean, she gave a blowjob in church and you're like, whoa, okay, well, you're not the girl who I thought you were anymore. But that's how it was. So what happened was Danny did an interview with Rory. So again, shout out to that. And in the interview, Rory, from according to Mal, misspoke and said that he texted somebody and they didn't respond back to him. They left him on red. Mal, Mr. Pride, was not having that. He cleared that story up. But in the same token, he also said he would never hit anybody up to go on their show, which sparked a big conversation in the group because it looked weird where it's like, we're podcasting, one of the things of getting a bigger audience of podcasting is reaching out to your peers and generating that engagement.
Having them come on your show, you going on their
Yeah,
show.
like we're planning on talking. I'm not going to release too much, but we're talking about going on some people's shows too to try to help build our brand. And I went out and I asked them. I just sent a DM and said, "Hey,
there's nothing wrong with it."
And that's why I was just wondering, like, what was your thoughts on it after we just both listened to the conversation in its entirety? What do you feel about Maul and Rory and that take that Maul basically had?
I think Maul has always annoyed me with his very, like, you can tell that his prototype of a man is constructed in a specific way, and he has to behave in a very specific set of behaviors. Like, he has to fall into that. So Maul is like the overly cool nigga. Like, he's too concerned with being cool, so he doesn't enjoy life. That's what he gives me, and that's what he's given me since he was on the Joe Budden podcast. Like, he's just like laid back, too cool for school, but you actually come off as lazy and unmotivated and not passionate at all, which this falls in line with. You not wanting to reach out to other podcasters for not wanting to look lame just makes you look lazy, unmotivated, and unpassionate.
No, for sure. And that's the reason why I hate it, because I don't think he's lazy. I think he puts the effort into the stuff that he wants to put the effort into and that he thinks is cool and fly. And I don't think that's a problem with it, but I do see where, like you say, like, that's a part of the game. Like, okay, even on the old show I used to do, when we first started, one of the guys on there knew a pretty relevant Instagram person in the area. I'm talking about this folk had like millions of followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
And not once did they ever talk to them about helping us with the show, coming on the show, trying to give us a look or anything. And his main concern was the same thing. Oh, I don't want to look lame. And it's like, nigga, you got 400 followers. Nigga, you lame. Like, what are you talking about?
You are lame.
We are in the game of trying to get not be lame anymore. And that's when you got to get other folks to give you a look. And like you said, it just comes off as that because in my mind, that's what it came off to. It's like, oh, you just either lazy or you're scary. And you don't want to get, what you got? There's somebody I went to elementary school with. I don't want to put his name out because I talked about my elementary school here. I don't want to, show him up a little bit. But it's somebody I went to elementary school with who's a gangster rapper, and I tried to get him on the show, and that nigga left me on red. It wasn't nothing embarrassing to me. It was just like, it is what it is. It's the game.
Yeah, it was elementary school. Like, that was mad long ago. It's okay.
It was middle school too, but that's the kind of the school we was. It was like a all encompassing.
Oh yeah,
school.
I went to one of those too.
So, but no, to me, I just think that it's just crazy. But I just find it so hilarious when Rory just sits there and like he even makes it up like he's like, our pride is the same, but like the way we execute it is totally different. And I could just see where it was just like when you just find out Shorty was just the biggest smut in the world, and you just like, what? I thought you was my queen. But you for the team. The worst feeling ever. The worst feeling ever. But I just hope that he can kind of, because it was funny. After Rory said the same thing 5 times, Maul was able to acquiesce. Because Maul was like, bro, I'm not talking about going to somebody you don't know. Rory was like, I'm not talking about going to somebody you don't know, somebody you're not familiar. I'm saying like your mans. Like Gilly Wallow, Nori, like what, that's what I'm talking about. And then he's like, well, okay, well, if it's somebody I'm cool with, we done had the conversation prior, which Rory already used that as a prerequisite. And it was like, I think, okay, I could do that then. But it's like, bro, you be proving all of Joe's allegations correct.
I don't like Maul as a podcast personality. I don't think he's the type of personality that you can gravitate towards and like feel connected to, because he don't want you to feel connected to him. He wants to other himself. He wants to feel above people. He wants to feel like he's cooler than you, he's hooded than you, he's more exclusive than you. That's the feel that he gives, and that's not somebody that is going to gain popularity with the masses, because you don't want to appeal with the masses. You want to be a special, unique nigga.
And the last token I'll say on this, or the last point I'll point on this one, is that it honestly feels like that is really the true example of what crabs in the barrel mentality is. Like, they try to, I think, if anything, Jay-Z, Steve Style, all those guys that were in that Rockefeller, New York adjacent lane, that is truly what y'all legacy is this ideology of being too cool or not within, so you're creating this mindset amongst people that they don't want to really build community.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if y'all being for real with it, that's really what a lot of these guys built. And y'all try to call anybody who criticize y'all that crabs in a barrel when it's like, nah, that's what y'all built is crabs in a barrel for everybody. And then y'all just try to call out, you know, whoever doesn't rock with the way you rocking with it.
Yeah.
And that shit's just lame. All right, last thing in regards to the politics, we didn't really touch too much, but Ben fucking Shapiro.
Mm-hmm. And we got another little.
Oh, and we got Candace Owens too, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we got the double dip in here. We got to talk about both of them real quick here, but we can start with.
Can we?
Where you want to start with, Ben or?
I want to.
I feel like Ben is. We can kick Ben in real quick,
and then I'll ask you this question before we get into Candace. Let me write it down before. Go ahead though.
Okay. So Ben Shapiro was on his podcast doing Ben Shapiro things, and he talked about the retirement age and saying that it needs to be pushed back in this country because right now retirement is at, we can say, what, 65?
Like, what do you mean it needs to be pushed back?
And he said it was too early to retire. So here is Dumb Shapiro talking.
The retirement age in the United States. It's totally crazy. Joe Biden, if that were the case, Joe Biden should not be running for president. Hey, Joe Biden is 81 years old. The retirement age in the United States at which you start to receive Social Security and you are eligible for Medicare is 65. Joe Biden has technically been eligible for Social Security and Medicare for 16 years, and he wants to continue in office until he is 86, which is 19 years past when he would be eligible for retirement. No one in the United States should be retiring at 65 years old. Frankly, I think retirement itself is a stupid idea unless you have some sort of health problem. Everybody that I know who is elderly, who has retired.
And the problem,
his voice is annoying and his point is stupid. Like, he's just such a fucking lame.
Yeah, he's a real loser and a prick. And the thing I have a real big problem with this is, like, he tries to later on and he bases it off the life expectancy prior. And what his dumbass doesn't understand, life expectancy was low because people died real early in life. Like, I was talking to my dad today, and I was like, most of his brothers and sisters lived to be 60, 70 years old, but he had 4 of them who didn't make it either past birth or they died really young. And I'm like, if you did the math, it looked like all y'all would have died at like 50. But that's far from the truth. You know, when people actually get an opportunity to pass that portion, people usually live past 65, and folks have known that for years.
Yeah.
That's just a misremembering of history, a revisionist history when you do what he's doing here. And it's just clown work because the real true problem is we don't need you old fucks here in this working environment for that long.
No.
Like, that's a problem with what we do with a lot of shit. The same reason recording studios are in the same problem because we got all these old fucks at the top, all of these business doing the same shit. We got these old fucking losers at the top.
Government too.
Government is the quintessential.
Y'all are literally about to die. Why are you at the top making decisions for the rest of us who are young and fresh and have like decades in front of us?
We got 40 years and y'all making decisions for us when y'all got 10.
Not even 40. We have more than 40 years left.
I'm just saying we got 40 years of real movement.
Yeah.
And these niggas got 10. Like, these niggas
barely that.
If. And they're over here making decisions for us. And that's the reason why retirement, because if you know when retirement like that, Social Security started during the Great Depression. And that was to get old people out of jobs so that the young group of people could work. But again, all of these problems stem because y'all obsession with staying in these positions. Senate, these niggas be lifetime seats almost.
Yeah.
And it's a freaking problem.
I think there needs to be a time limit on Senate seats, just like there's time limits on the presidency. There needs to be time limits on how long you can be governor, mayor in the Senate. There needs to be time limits on everything because you cannot just for a lifetime have influence over a part of our government that does not make sense.
And then your old ass just dies and then we all got to live with your choices.
The longer you're living and the longer you're in this position, you're just gaining more biases, gaining more opportunity to be corrupt. Get them out of here.
They got to go. It has to happen at some point. Because in no way, shape, or form can we continue to allow for this to happen. And when you have dumb people like him, it's because Ben Shapiro, you do what we do. Sit on your ass. You not doing nothing hard.
We don't sit on our ass.
Well, I'm just saying we sit on our ass when we're talking on the podcast.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that's what he does. He sits on his ass and talks. Of course you can do that till you die. No one's going to stop you from doing that till you die. But there's people who are doing real hard labor that do not need to retire. Like, my father is a fortunate person because he did kind of a hard labor job in regards to working in the post office. And then
that was your mother.
No, my dad worked in the post office too.
Oh, he did too?
Yeah, both of them. That's what they met. They was post office pimping.
Oh.
My mom, well, I ain't gonna get into that. Did I ever tell you that before?
Don't.
Okay.
Well, you can tell me, but don't tell the people.
Well, it's the truth. It's all documented. But yeah, they was post office pimping. So but no, with him, he's different. Like, he retired and still enjoys working from time to time. Like, he works on small engine. He got a small engine license after he retired. But like, everybody's not my pops. So like, I understand where it's like, yo, some people want to just live. And if they die 5 years after resting, so fucking be it.
Yeah.
That's their choice to make.
Rest.
Like, we over here, we work people to the ground. And then when you want to even push even more, you want to push them even harder. You want to give them another decade of hard labor. Why? You're obsessed.
That's just mean.
And that's all that's what it is, man. It's just oppressive. You know what it is, man.
Ben, you don't actually fucking believe that. You're just saying things to get clicks, to get people upset, and it worked. We're talking about it. But like, I don't think you actually believe that. In your heart of hearts, in your fucking rational brain, if you even fucking have one, you don't think that people should be working until 75 years old. No, because you're not a competent human being anymore. You are at like, you gain your cognitive function fully at like 23 to 27. You're great. And then at some point, at one point at like 60 something, you start deteriorating. That is how human biology works.
I mean, you start doing it throughout your whole time.
The deterioration, speeds up. So at that point is not where you need to still be in the workforce, still be making decisions for people. You're making decisions based off of your skewed experience from 50 years ago, when life is moving in a completely different direction. You should not have say in this. And that's not ageism, you old fuck. If you think that that's ageism, no, it's not. You just shouldn't have opinions.
Akira Toriyama passed away, and Rupert Murdoch, bitch ass, is still alive.
How is Rupert Murdoch still alive?
Got a goat heart.
He
in
literally,
in his chest.
Stole Arturo Toriyama's brain.
It's Akira
Toriyama's brain. He stole Akira Toriyama's brain.
Well, hopefully. Never mind. All right, so again, we'll get off this one. Candace did some interesting investigation.
Okay.
We'll play a part of it. I don't got to play. It's like 9 minutes.
Really quick. Yeah, let me ask this question before, because have you been seeing the like slight change in Candace Owens' content?
So there was a interesting, because she's on Ben Shapiro's channel. Like they work together, and there has been a big conflict between the two of them, because he's Jewish.
Question.
He's Jewish, and she's been very spoken against the Israel state.
She has been. So she's kind of done a switch up from what I thought she was going to do. So I was going to ask you, do you think that Candace and Ben are still in the same basket?
No, there's conflict. They've been openly conflicting with each other.
Okay.
She's still on the channel for whatever contract, and whatever she got going on must be razor cut thin.
You think like their rhetoric and content still falls in the same box, though?
I think they both would say that they're right-leaning, but I think in the right-leaning box, they are fighting. Like, Ben has always been kind of fighting for his life because he's a Jew in that environment. It's kind of like being a black guy in that environment. They're going to shoot at that standpoint, and he has to hope that a national Christian, what is it? A Christian nationalist. He has to hope that you're one of those people who want, support the Jewish, I would say empire, but the Jewish state.
Yeah.
In that way. But she just hasn't been a part. She hasn't been a part of that. And I think this is kind of interesting because it kind of bleeds into this. So we'll play a little bit of it. It's like a 9-minute clip that you guys can check out.
We covered this. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch. I believe it was Monday's episode. But yes, the Diddy lawsuit is absolutely crazy. Full stop. What if I told you guys that it is about to get even crazier, that there is directly a link to Michael Jackson's death? I want to be clear that when everything was going on with Michael Jackson, the lawsuits, his death, I thought that we were in full conspiracy theory territory when people were saying that Michael Jackson was killed. I actually know a lot of people that are in the industry who believe that Michael Jackson was killed, and I just thought it just sounds too whacked out to believe that somebody intentionally killed Michael Jackson. Of course, why would they do that? And also, I was believing the media. The media was extensively saying every single day that he was a pedophile, even though he factually won his case. I allowed my image of Michael Jackson certainly to be corroded by the media throughout that time period. I will fully confess that. Now, I want to remind you, before we get back into Michael Jackson, what we learned in the Diddy document, just to very quickly recap. Well, if you read...
So, it's a 9-minute long video. She goes on to talk about how we learned from the Diddy docs. She calls them the Diddy docs, which I'm going to call them from now on.
That is... I hate that she do some fly shit like that, yo.
Like she Diddy docs. That's a little bop. But so she goes on to explain that in these documents, we learn that Diddy has basically had an enterprise of like blackmail within the hip hop community that was basically equivalent to like Epstein's.
Mm-hmm. Which another person has said that as well. Ian.
Yeah. So which was like equivalent to Epstein's system, but it was for like the black people in the hip hop community specifically. She talks about how they did the same thing as far as getting you to be recorded doing lewd acts with minors and then using that as blackmail against you. She talks about how this Diddy is like working for like a bigger name and that they are not afraid to unalive people. She talks about Diddy and his son and that case of them unaliving somebody and the LAPD covering it up. She talks about how the LAPD, the police in general in Miami and LA are like in Diddy's pockets with this. And she talks about this man named Mr. Muhammad, who is basically like a fixer. Whenever something like if you get pulled over by the police, call this guy, he got it done, right? And then so Mr. Muhammad is a fixer, but he was also at the scene of Michael Jackson's death, which is what she was talking about. She tied it back in. This is the same guy who works for Diddy as his fixer. He was Michael Jackson's head of security at 21 years old, right after he graduated from college with a business and real estate degree. So the question in the video was, how does this man who is 21, fresh out of college, become the world's biggest pop star's head of security? Not just part of his security team. He was his head of security. So it was,
and he didn't go to school for that.
He didn't. No, he got a business
and real estate,
and his concentration or like minors in real estate.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with security. Not
even a little bit. So that's what the rest of the video is about. And she's just like, everything is alleged. None of this is concrete. The person who says that this is an entire enterprise of blackmail does have video and photographic evidence proving this, but it has not been let out in courts or made public yet. So this is all still very alleged.
So for her to be thinking about backing out of this and
she doesn't want to cover it.
That's crazy. We talking about Miss Messy McGee, and she don't want to cover it no more. I feel you. That feels a little compromising.
Do you think?
And Clyde Davis is the person I think you were referring to with Diddy, his overseer, kind of Clyde Davis.
Oh, did I say he had a? Oh, so
you said he was working for somebody above him.
Yeah, but I don't think it's one person.
Well, I'm saying, Clyde Davis was always the person. He was the person who put Diddy on, and he's a Jewish exec in the music industry as well, and he's had a lot of ties with a lot of stuff. I think he also worked with like Whitney Houston and stuff like that.
Okay, she made it. I don't know if he is part of this. He might be allegedly. This is all alleged, but there's a bigger enterprise that Diddy is working for to like collect all this blackmail and this and that.
Well, there was another person who kind of connected Clyde Davis to a lot of other things too. So I mean, it is a nasty operation. It's crazy how these folks can just exist until somebody's tired of you existing, and then we pop this shit off on your ass.
Yeah,
because that's all it is.
And then I really think that Cassie was the first domino.
Yeah, it's gonna be more. I think we're gonna probably hear about stuff from Jay-Z soon. It's gonna come out. A lot of these New York legends.
I'm telling the hip hop community as we know it is going to start crumbling, and all of these Hopetep niggas are gonna be like, oh, they trying to take down the black man and this and that. But no, like rich men are disgusting, and regardless of their race, black, white, Hispanic, fucking whatever.
And these men were probably folks who were destroying other black men with either not allowing, you know what I'm saying, with allegations or with saying, hey, if you won't do this, you can't be part of this. So
What would Hollywood, the music industry, everything look like if it was not off connections and what you're willing to do, and like how you're willing to degrade yourself? If it wasn't that, and if it was just like talented people.
Yeah.
Because now, like, we're increasingly knowing that, like, the people that we're seeing are just the people who had the most opportunity, had the most connections, or did the nastiest shit, or was the most willing to do the nasty shit. So it's like, could we have gotten better music and content, and were there more talented people out there who just said no to the bullshit and didn't get the opportunity? That pisses me off as someone who loves music and movies and everything.
No, we were robbed.
Also, that sucks that like obviously, like, everyone who went through this should not have gone through this. If you were a victim of any sexual abuse, any coercion of that nature.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
But me being selfish, I'm like, you shouldn't have been here in the first place. Who are the talented people that should have been here?
How did you get here?
Bitch, I sucked a dick.
Nobody's supposed to be here. That's crazy. These niggas was doing the bending. All right. Hey, man. So before we get into these Tubi movies, I got to ask you a question.
You have no idea how I just ate that.
I was with you.
No.
I was right next to you.
The Vine? Bitch, I caught the buzz.
Yeah, I knew,
oh, okay.
I saw that.
Okay. You didn't laugh as much. Like, you should have.
That's because I came with the second. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was trying to stay with you on it. Yo, what's up with you?
Okay, cut this out.
I'm probably going to leave it in now. So let me ask you a question before we get into the Tubi movies. So there was a big convo going on about, do you take a deuce on the first link with somebody when you go to their place?
No. You
think that's a violation, or do you just think like it's just something you just prefer not to do?
Why would you be comfortable enough doing that?
Nigga, sometimes I gotta go.
No, unless it's like a bubbling hot shit.
But I mean, if that's the case, it's over with now.
You're crowning. It's like right there. Of course, go ahead and do it. But like, if you can hold it, I'ma hold it. Honestly, I've never taken a shit at a nigga's house on the first link. I think that's crazy. I will rather leave.
I did it off the leave, like when I left. Like before I left, I dropped it.
Oh, so you left her with it?
I flushed it.
With your essence.
Slick.
If your poops smell the same as they do now, like they did then, you were not doing that woman a favor.
I mean, hey.
You should have just left with your stomach hurting. I would have preferred that out of you.
She made some good food. I had to let it out.
Rhetoric shits smell like a roadkill that already died, crawled up his intestines, and then he released them again. That's what it's just like unholy. It's just like you have to move your face a lot when you smell it. Like you can't leave your face. Just like it's like I'm being assaulted physically when my husband farts, and then he does it in the morning. Like just like he'll turn his butt away from me. Thank God, because I would not be here telling you this story if he didn't. Okay,
that's hate. Like
he'll turn his butt, but then he'll and it's always like that. In the morning, 1 or 2. At max, it's 2. Thank God. It's no more than 2. But I have to literally, like, get up and spray, or I have to just stop breathing for 2 minutes, 120 seconds.
Now, we can get into your snoring if you want to, sounding like a chopper.
We can get into my snoring if you want to, but that doesn't constrict your airways.
No, you suck all the air in the room. There's no air for me to breathe.
Oh my God. He thought he ate that. He didn't eat that. He didn't eat that like I just ate that.
No, y'all don't hear it. Y'all fortunate that y'all won't ever have to hear that snoring. She caught me off guard with that too.
I think this is something that's happened recently too, because like in my last relationship, I lived with my ex-boyfriend, and I didn't snore that loud. I think this is something that happened in my adulthood.
It could be.
Yeah.
Can't believe you live with a man. Disgusting.
My mom snore.
Yeah, that's where y'all come from.
Oh, like it's crazy.
Yo, you're definitely getting the close up on that one. Definitely. I'm just gonna zoom into your face.
I was in the hospital once. My mom stayed with me that night. My dad lives in New York. He made it the second night. Both of them were here. I was like, Mommy, I'm gonna need you to go. It was a tiny room. She was right next to me. I was like, I did not go to sleep. Like, you were just in my ear. Oh! The whole time.
You know, people are listening to us, though. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to see what scarred you.
Turn me down. The whole time. The whole time. I was like, ma'am, you need to leave. You need to leave. What else we got on the docket, baby?
Well, I was going to get into the movies if you was ready.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So we was back on our Tubi adventure. Before we do that, shout out to Alvin Gray. He hit us up. He saw our clip, showed us a lot of love, so we do appreciate that. He even invited us to a virtual premiere for his new trailer.
Yeah.
The actor who got chased around the city.
The actor who got chased around the...
Yes.
Yo, oh, my God. I cannot wait.
Alvin is a G, yo.
I cannot wait. Alvin, I swear to God, if you ever change the format of your titles, I will be so upset.
Alvin is Black Lifetime.
He's Hood Lifetime.
Hood Lifetime.
Definitely. Like, I love the long-ass titles. They need to be at least 7 words. I love that. That's my favorite part of Alvin's movies. And then the speed of which he puts them out after.
Oh, he's putting them clips out.
He is recording them shits like
wildfire.
He shitting on Tyler Perry for real.
Hey, Alvin, I got an idea for you. You can have this one for free. You can do the LeBron James story, the basketball player that got too comfortable with white women.
I'm not
free
watching
game.
that.
Free game, my
I'm
nigga.
not watching that.
Free game. All right. So we will definitely probably discuss that in our next episode, the trailer.
I'm very excited for that. And then did we talk about the nurse who saw the baby on the highway on the show?
We never talked about it on the show.
But we watched that.
We've been watched that. We watched that when it first came out.
So we've been watching Alvin Gray movies for a while now.
We didn't even know.
And
now bro really rocking with us, and we rock with bro. So it's like,
no,
it's cool.
really, like his reaction to our clip, which like if he had a negative reaction to it, I would have been complete. Like I would have understood.
Cool. We would have been cool with it.
Yeah,
I understood.
But like he was like such a good sport, which is what you said about it. That it made me like him more, which made me like the movie more indirectly for some reason.
It just made me like and we even said in our review, we said the first one we liked a lot better because he incorporated what really happened in it. So like I appreciated all that. So
yeah.
We are definitely going to give you a review. He told us to talk our shit.
We're watching every Alvin Gray movie.
Oh yeah,
like
this is going to be an Alvin Gray podcast on the slit. But we got a few other people to talk about some new movies that were dropped on Tubi. So this movie that we're going to talk about is basically hood takers. Low budget takers.
Yeah.
It's called Distinguished Robbers.
Yeah. I'm going to let Rhetoric take this.
Yeah, she hated this movie so much.
It literally almost ended me.
So basically this movie is about a group of brothers, black brothers who pseudo-adopt a Hispanic guy into their group.
Yeah.
They end up all growing up to be relatively successful. And then they find out that a couple things are happening. Their parents are losing their land that they bought when they were all kids. And their good Hispanic daughter is having a heart condition, and she needs a heart transplant. So during all this, they need essentially $1.5 million to cover everything.
Mm-hmm.
Things are getting stressful. They're trying their best to, keep each other positive, but there isn't really a way for them to get this money. Even though they're lawyers, doctors, and stuff like that, it's hard for them to get this kind of money. I think they also said because of him being like an entrepreneur or whatever, he didn't have health insurance. And that's what kind of put them also in a bind.
Yeah, he was like a club promoter, or like he owned a club or some shit.
Something like that. So the younger brother ends up coming up with an idea.
His name is Hothead.
Yeah, Hothead. He comes up with the idea to work with the ops when they was growing up to rob banks.
And they wasn't really they ops for real because they're the opulence brothers.
But I mean they were
but
just
the opulence
they were
brothers,
the rivals.
Yeah, like they weren't ops because they were doing crime, and the opulence brothers were like straight and narrow kids. So the criminal niggas was just hating on the opulence brothers for just like being like
good black folk.
Yeah, for being like this picture of black excellence. Like the opulence brothers very obviously had like haters for real because they had a dad. They had an active father and an active mother who were still together.
And then, like I said, that it was actually funny because that's who was beating up the Hispanic friend. Was they rivals? They was beating them up, and then remember the buddy was doing that weird smile.
While we're speaking, Love Is Blind is on. Continue.
We're gonna watch that after this. But no, after that, basically, they kind of devise a plan where the brother is helping them get the money, while at the same time they're copying them and robbing other banks.
Yes, so they're taking the gang's like model and doing their own shit
because they're trying to get everything directed back to them.
Yeah, they're also doing it in a way that makes it look like it's the other gang that's doing it the whole time.
Yeah, so they're trying to basically convolute a lot of things, and in the process, they steal the money from the other group. So
in the first robbery, Hothead gets a security job at the bank that they're about to rob.
That his brother helped get him.
His brother helped the owner of the bank get the loan for the bank to start the bank. So as soon as the brother asked him to get Hothead a job, he's like, got it, done. Don't even say any more words. So he's a security at the bank. He gets them the information. The niggas come to rob the bank, broad daylight. Nothing. It doesn't even seem like they needed plans because y'all niggas just ran up in there anyways. And then Hothead is flirting with this girl before they're like squatting next to each other. And then the nigga shoots the girl in the head and the girl's blood splatters all over Hothead in the scene. And then after that, that's the first robbery.
And it was funny because like he was kind of flirting with the girl, but Hothead's married. So like they tried to make you feel like an emotional connection for him.
Hothead is married, but he's been cheating rampantly on his woman the entire time. There's a scene before this where he's a personal trainer. So he's literally walking around the gym cheating on her.
Yeah, he even brought like a chick with him to meet up with his brothers. That was kind of play.
Yeah.
But so they end up doing the robberies. They continue on. They live in life. They do the montage of, everybody living good, fucking their wives. Jason Ivey, who is the director, and he's also in the movie. He plays one of the doctors in the movie. Gave himself plenty of sex scenes. He gave himself like two sex scenes.
That's the thing that I noticed the most with these Tubi movies is the director always has a sex scene.
It seems like they love to do that. And so he ends up having two. But I will say you were the best actor out of everybody.
He was. That was very noticeable because everyone else was very bad.
So then the other groups, do you want to get into it now?
I want to get into it because we're already past this scene. This scene happens when they find out that the
daughter has a heart condition.
So one of the doctors, who's the brother, right? One of the other brothers is also a doctor. He's there when he tells this nigga that his daughter has a heart condition. He goes home to his wife, and he's like, this is what happened to. She's like, oh, I'm on my way out with the girls and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I had a long day. Destiny needs a heart transplant.
Was that her name, Destiny?
I made that up.
Because they kept saying her name.
They said it a lot. And she was like, oh my God, no. Let me move the mic away from me because this bitch yelled so fucking loud. Okay. Like her reaction, I could tell that she was just she was the worst actor in this entire fucking movie. Her reaction was like, she thought that the louder she got, the more that she emoted emotion. That is not how that works. She was like, no, not my goddaughter. Don't tell me something happened to my goddaughter. I was like, turn this shit off right now. Turn this shit off right the fuck now. I was so irate. Like the anger was bubbling inside me because of how just horrible of an actress. She fell to the ground to this man's feet. Not my goddaughter. What? Bitch? Quit acting. Like, I don't ever want to see you in shit. I swear to God, bitch, if I ever see you in another fucking movie or in a commercial or in a skit or in a GIF on Instagram, bitch, I swear to God, I'm reporting that shit. I'm reporting that shit for hate speech, hate crimes, hate everything. Because I feel like I shouldn't be alive if you're acting. Bitch, you're horrible. I stopped watching the movie after that. I don't know what happened after that. What's his name?
Jason Ivey.
Jason Ivey? Never hire this bitch again. I swear to God.
We'll be watching more of your movies. So
we'll be watching more of your movies. But if that
we're
bitch
gonna watch
is
the second part. Well,
then my husband is watching that shit by himself. I swear to God. If you ever put that bitch in a movie ever again, I'm not watching that shit. Period. Point blank.
Well,
period.
To kind of wrap up how this movie ends, they
horribly.
Well, you wasn't there. I was there.
I didn't finish it.
So what happens is the rival game kind of gets clued in on what's going on. They figure out that the guys are also have their money. And
after way too long because these niggas is stupid.
It did feel a long time. Like they even had like a detective who was inside the group with them.
Yeah, there was a detective crackhead.
So they didn't know who was there.
There was just a lot going on.
The sheriff's son, he was undercover with them. But basically the movie ends with the rival ops. They basically kidnap everybody's family, and they tell them they got to bring them back the money or it's going to be problems. Yeah. And so then that's what it kind of ends off with them saying, we going to burn this motherfucker down.
I don't know where it ended because after that bitch said, not my goddaughter. I walked away. I was like, I'm not fucking putting myself through this mental gymnastics.
So we might do I might watch the second one when it comes out.
That's gonna be
Distinguished Robbers is sick. Young, that's a nasty name.
Rhetoric reviews by Rhetoric by himself.
No, I'm gonna watch it because Shawty probably is gonna be in that second one too. Cause
she's the wife.
I just thought it was funny that they just really took Takers.
I need y'all to kill her.
They probably will in the next one.
Yeah. Like if all of the spouses survive, I need her to be the only spouse that doesn't. Genuinely, like, kill that bitch. Look me in my eyes. Hold on. What's his name again?
Jason Ivey.
Jason Ivey. Look me in my eyes. Kill her right now. Go back in your script. If you're writing the script right now, murder her immediately. Murder her. That's all I ask.
I'm definitely gonna catch Distinguished Robbers too.
If you kill her in the second one, I will 1000% watch.
I will give it out of 10.
2.
I give it a 3. It was 3. It wasn't like a lot of the times they kept doing the same bit over where somebody would start talking and then somebody would cut them off and they're like, "You let me finish." Like I was listening.
They did that a lot.
It was like I was listening to the Joe Budden podcast. It was 2
specific brothers. It was the brother that the producer played and the hothead. They had that specific dynamic a lot. It was between those 2 brothers. So that's why it didn't bother me that much because I was like, maybe he's just trying to make it seem like those 2 brothers don't get along. And that might be something that we're seeing in the next movie. But also I might be putting too much thought into it because this is a garbage fucking movie.
It definitely felt like Joe Budden, Flip, and Ish was all in this movie. Every time can you let me finish?
Yeah.
Can I get my point out?
And then one of them niggas looked like Flip. No, that was in the other movie. That was the other movie
about to watch. So we'll wrap this up. But like I said, if you want to go see it, it's on Tubi. But we got one more movie to get into. This was Moet, also known as Hood Players Club, Low Budget Players Club.
Yeah.
But yeah, in that movie they did have somebody who looked like Flip and Maul.
Yeah.
Like they look like they
Flip
fused.
and Maul's son.
Yeah, like they fused together.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to give them the 401 on this one? What happened?
So this movie
follows Glorilla.
It starts out with like this couple is fighting. She doesn't think that he's going out to work. He's a cop. He's like, I'm going out to work. He goes out to work, immediately gets killed. He gets killed at a strip club. So then next scene is his daughter. His daughter is struggling to pay bills and stuff. She has a little brother. They're about to get kicked out of the house. They have a mortgage. She goes to her friend.
You missed the second part.
Oh, go ahead.
With their mama. Remember the mama?
Oh, okay. So
that's the part. That's the crazy.
Yeah, that's the craziest part. So after her father gets murdered, her mom is like comforting her, and is like, "Baby, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay." Walks to the back, boom, shoots herself in the head. It's not successful. How do you shoot yourself in the head unsuccessfully?
But they didn't tell us that till later on in the movie.
So yeah, you're correct. They didn't even let us know that her mom survived. We didn't know that until later. So right now she goes to her friend. Her friend, she's like explaining her struggles to her friend. Her friend is like, you know what you should do? Start shaking that pussy for money. So that's exactly what she starts doing.
I just want to add, I was so mad they didn't switch those two. I would have loved to watch the movie about the friend.
So the friend did seem like a better actress. Like, sure, her
and she was way more cuter. And she was cuter than her.
Yeah, I think that both the girls were cute, but as far as like who is more striking, then the dark-skinned girl was more striking. Definitely. Yeah. I would have liked to see her more. The light-skinned girl kind of just seemed like a regular, like round-faced Guyanese girl to me. I've seen her in New York 17 times.
And she had like the baby hair was just like tattooed on almost. It looked like
so her baby hair was her hair was like dry ish, like she had a like a fresh silk press, but then they used like very oily edge control on her baby hair, so it's very shiny. And then it looks like they used a wax stick on her leave out, so then her leave out was shiny, but then the rest was like matte. It was just, and then my husband notices shit like that for some fucking reason. So the difference in like textures between her hair and the rest of the hair stuck out a lot.
Yeah, it did. It was very distracting.
Which is what I had to explain it in girlier, more detail, so y'all can get what his actual problem was. So her friend is like, yeah, start shaking that pussy. She go to the club. She doesn't even audition.
Well, it seemed like the other girl knew the mistress.
Yeah, but you still gotta show us that you know how to shake that ass.
Honestly, you just gotta make sure that shit smell right. As long as you smell good.
All of the stripper vlogs that I've seen on YouTube, they have to audition.
I mean, they might.
And it's usually,
but you are watching a vlog, so
it's usually a man.
Yeah, I mean, I think
vlog is like day in the life. Like, this is what happens throughout the day. This is a movie, so I think the vlogs are a little bit more accurate. So she gets the job. Her first day, she don't make no money. She don't have no clients. There's this girl called Hurricane in the strip club. That's on some shicey shit. Hurricane convinces her to start doing the shicey shit with her. So she's basically just putting air tags in niggas' pockets while she is giving them dances in the private room. And then that's what I want to call her, shiesty. Her name is Hurricane, but Hurricane and her niggas, not her specifically, but her niggas rob whoever she puts the air tags on after they leave the club.
So let's talk about that part real quick. Stupidest plan ever, because for one reason, they made her take him to the back room every time.
Every single time.
All you had to do was just drop it into his pocket while he was at the bar.
You're a stripper. Like, you could go up to a nigga and feel on him and put an air tag in his pocket without him noticing, without him taking you to the private room.
And then, why do you need an air tag when the fucking thieves were at the club every time?
They followed these. It seemed like they followed the men from the club. Like
the air tag was not necessary.
It wasn't necessary at all. The air tag was necessary for the plot.
Yeah.
So let's move on. So they've been doing this for a while. They eventually get caught. So
well, they get caught because of the girl who was doing it before her, not Hurricane, but there was a girl Hurricane that hired before them, who pushed them in the right direction to find what was going on.
Yeah. So in the beginning, Hurricane was like, we need a new face to be added so that we don't get caught. So this is probably why. This movie was just a little. I think it was better than.
I mean, you stayed and watched this one.
Distinguished Brothers, yeah, definitely. So
Distinguished Robbers, not
Robbers.
Brothers.
So the police is on their ass at this point, and they catch up with the main character. What was her name?
Moet.
Okay, so they catch up with Moet, and
they find that her prints were on a tag.
Yeah, so this is the point of the air tag. Like, there was no reason for the air tag other than her prints are going to be found on it. And the detective that found the prints was very close to her father. And this is the detective that was trying to financially give her help in the beginning of the movie. And she refused it and decided to start shaking her pussy instead. Which is like, what? Bitch, are you dumb? Like, you decided to not get help from a very close friend of your father's and you decided to start selling your body instead? Are you dumb?
Standing on business.
Like, this movie just stood on nothing from the beginning to me, because I was like, a girl who is raised as sheltered as her, who had both their parents, would not have made this decision, but whatever.
Well, she was a dancer, so we know how sheltered she was.
She was a trained professional dancer with a cop father and a mother in the same house. She would not have chosen to shake her ass for money.
All right, now get to the twist.
So the twist, what is the twist? So,
you want me to do it?
Yeah, go ahead.
So the twist was, you find out that her father was in a relationship with the girl Hurricane. That's who he was cheating on his mom with.
Hurricane gets questioned by the police, and then she's like, well, his wife found out that we were still messing around. And then the cop makes a face, and you can tell that he realizes something. So he goes to Moet, I think. Or there's a flashback, and they show that the mother, who's in the mental hospital, is the one who shot her dad, the police officer.
Yeah, she killed her father.
Because she found out that he was still cheating.
Yeah, and then the fact that she tried to kill herself was just a fake move to basically throw everybody off.
Which is why she missed so hard, because you can't miss when you shoot yourself in the head.
And then it's funny too, because then like they tried to give her a wound, and it looked like they just put like a bottle cap on her head really hard until it made a little red circle on her head.
They put a dot of red lipstick on her forehead.
No, it didn't look like a lot. It looked like they put a bottle cap on her head.
No, because if you put a dot and then you just go like that, that's what it looked like. It literally looked like they put a dot and then they spread it out.
It looked like a pure circle to me. That's why. But no, it was just funny that they kind of did that, and then that was pretty much the end of the movie. You find out that the mom was the one, but then Moet doesn't ever go to jail. Whoa, no, that's actually ends on a cliffhanger.
So she doesn't go to jail. She gets back together with this nigga that she been messing with throughout the whole movie, which we did not mention because he literally means nothing. Like he doesn't drive forward the plot in any manner or fashion at all. He's just there. So they're walking down the street together, and Hurricane is in the car, not in jail for some reason. It was like, oh, this bitch thinks she's sweet. And then it ends on a cliffhanger.
And I'm trying to figure out, why is that bitch not in jail?
I just need to figure out why black people think that cliffhangers eat.
No, I mean...
Go ahead. But why do the small black creators? This is why I like Alvin.
Yeah, Alvin keeps it
Alvin
in universe.
He wraps up his stories, because why are we doing a cliffhanger on a movie where these niggas are going to go to... We know these niggas is going to jail. We know. Please be more interesting. God damn it. It's frustrating. But you know, black people have more mental capacity than you think, because you directors are making me think that and producers are making me think that y'all think that black people are fucking stupid with this content that you're fucking making for us. We're not stupid. We like complex characters and character development, and we like plot twists that aren't comical and soap opera-y.
And contrive.
Just stupid as shit. I don't like it. Y'all need to put more effort in. Be smarter. I don't know. I don't even care if I sound like
You know who the director was?
Be smarter.
You wrote the director's name, right? We got to shout out the director for this Tubi movie.
Which one? For Moet?
Yeah, Moet. You wrote it down. Remember you try to follow them on Instagram and everything? So, yeah, Mo, we want to make sure we give a shout out to the director, because we're probably going to tag you in this, just like we're going to do Jason.
We definitely are, because that shit was just a clusterfuck of fucking black stereotypes.
Now, he tried to do his best Players Club impression to the best that he could. I just feel like
this was Thomas L. Harris.
Yeah, so shout out Thomas L. Harris, man. We'll get this one. What do you want to get this ranking of this one?
I'll give this a 2.5.
I was gonna at least give it a 4. That was better than the other movie.
No, because I gave the first movie a 0, and then I gave the second movie a 1. This is a 2.5. This is the highest rating I've given a Tubi movie.
I was gonna say it was 4.
No, out of 5 stars.
I thought we were doing 10.
No, out of 5 stars.
Okay, then it's 2.
2.5.
Okay, I say
at
3.
Max.
I'll do 3. It's about and we're doing out of 5, then it's basically the same as.
It's definitely out of 5.
It's
if
the
you
same
thought
as
that I was giving
Robbers.
this nigga a 0 out of 10, yeah, you still get a 0 out of 10 because it's a 0 regardless, my nigga. But
but you gave Alvin the 0.
Yeah, Alvin also. Honestly, I should have gave Alvin a 1.
I mean, you could have gave him a little bit more since
we
understand the concept more now.
No, because I'm starting to like Alvin a little bit more personally, but that doesn't mean that his content is better. It doesn't mean the mic work, the camera work, the writing, the production,
y'all Tubi movies, stop doing that weak ass from the bottom angle, yo. I hate that shit. That shit does not look good. Like, it looks like you got the cameraman squatted in the fucking corner.
Is like this, like he's taking a selfie for a bad.
Yeah, he's like looking up.
The cameraman like this, like he's taking a selfie for a bad bitch. All the way down here. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck?
So yeah, it's just crazy. But hey, we're gonna be here to talk about all y'all Tubi movies. We're gonna kick y'all back in if they
I'm gonna keep torturing myself because I'm a fucking masochist for some goddamn reason. I'm gonna keep watching y'all bullshit black movies because y'all still black.
We support black creators, baby. All right, so I think we good. You got anything else we get into?
Yeah, that's it.
We didn't talk about Don Lemon, but you know him and Elon are having beef. If y'all want to know from an interview.
Yeah.
But I think we good, man. Want to wrap this up? I think
Let's wrap it up, baby.
I didn't say my little jingle last time.
Go ahead.
I was upset about that when I was watching back over. I was like, I didn't say the jingle. The jingle is the most important part. It makes us all feel like we're one and together.
Make sure you follow us on all those social media platforms at talk.fnf.tv on Instagram, TikTok, maybe if it still exists. We don't know. Facebook, YouTube, talk.fnf.tv, period.
And don't forget, life is a labor of love. So let's keep building these moments together. And remember, your job is not your family. And the only thing you should be exploring is these corporations.
And
Talk
white
FNF.
men.
Them too. Talk FNF TV. We back in. We'll see y'all next week.
Period.
We out of here.